So I just got through doing my makeup, and I was gonna do like a get ready with me, like you can sit down and talk to me while I do my makeup. And since it just wasn't working, so yeah, we're gonna talk to me while I take my hair down instead. And we're gonna be talking about Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tomi Adeyemi. So if you don't know who Tomi Adeyemi is, she is a breakout author. Girl, this hairstyle is kind of like done already. I had it in for like 4 days. It's like this flat twist updo. It's so cute. And if you want to see how I did it, go ahead and check out my previous video. I will link it. I carded in this video. I do a bad job at iCard my stuff. I will iCard it in this video, and I will link it also down below in the description box. Tomi Adeyemi is a breakout author. She's Nigerian born. No, she's Nigerian American. I think she's born in America. Second generation, if I believe. Harvard educated. And yeah, she's a really awesome breakout writer. And her first book was called Children of Blood and Bone, and this is it. This is her, and I thoroughly enjoy reading Children of Blood and Bone. Now, there were some holes in the story. There was a few things that just was like, but for the most part, the story was really interesting. It was really intriguing. It was really captivating is the word, because I read it from beginning to end, and I was thoroughly invested in the story. I was invested in the characters, and it really took you on the story of the exploration of like the Black experience, right? It really did talk about the Black experience, and I really felt like I made connections from the story to police brutality and a lot of the things that we see with current happenings in America with Black bodies. I felt like I connected a lot of those things through this story. So this story was a really good story, and it was a story of, why can I think of her name right now? Zile and her brother, who were basically these poor people who lived in the land of Orisha, and they were shunned because they possessed magic, and magic was frowned upon and was looked at as a negative thing. And for the most part, they hid their magic. They didn't actually show that they had magic. They hid their magic, but they had markers. Some of the people had markers just to show that they had magic, which was their white hair. Their white hair was a marker of their ancestry or their lineage or who they were, right? So yeah, that's what the story was. Now, in this first story, Zile was on a quest to restore magic, right? She wanted to restore magic because although some of the people did possess magic, they weren't able to use the magic because the magic had been banned by the kingdom, had banned magic. And so magic had been banned, and so the people who did possess magic, you knew that they had magic by their marker, their hair, but you did not know, but they did not use their magic because they weren't able to use their magic because it had been taken away by the kingdom, right? So this first story, we follow Zile on her quest to restore magic. And then on her quest to restore magic, she was with her brother the whole time. Her brother's name is Zane. I want to say her brother's name is Zane. Her brother's name is Zane. So she's with her brother this whole time, trying to restore magic. So she's on this journey, on this quest, and then on her quest, on her journey, she meets, I forget how they met. She meets Inan, and Inan is the son of the king, and she kind of falls in love with him, and they in their head develop this idea that they can save the kingdom and they can restore magic together and they can make the world a better place, and yada yada yada. And also on her quest, on her journey, she meets Amari. Amari is Enan's sister, I'm sorry. And so they become friends, not fast friends, but they become friends, and they're all together trying to restore magic to the Magi people. That's the people who have the magic, who possess the magic. They're trying to restore the magic to these people who have been oppressed, who have been marginalized, who have been deemed second-class citizens, essentially, in this nation. And they are on a quest to restore magic to these people, to give them their birthright, and to allow them to exist in the world the way they should be able to exist, right? Story ends with Zelie defeating whoever she had to defeat, all of this stuff, whatever. Zelie, with Amari's help, they restore magic, right? They restore magic, but in that whole ending, within that ending, Baba, who is Zelie's father, he ends up having to die in order for magic to be restored. So he's like essentially sacrificed in a way. So he dies, and the king, Enan's father, also dies, but in the process of him dying, he stabs Enan in the stomach, and Enan is essentially thought to be dead at the end of the story. And Amari kills the king because she's like, I'll be a better queen than you, and she kills him because essentially that's what she had to do. She killed him because he was in the wrong, whatever. That brings us to Children of Virtue and Vengeance. The long-awaited Children of Virtue and Vengeance. Girl, we was waiting patiently for this story, or at least I was waiting patiently for the story. I don't know if everybody else was. So we get to the story, and I cannot remember how the story opens. How the story opens? Girl, let me peek in here and see something real quick, because I forgot. It kind of opens with it kind of starts off with Zelie being a lot more resentful to the fact that magic actually exists than we thought she would be. We thought she would be a lot happier that magic exists, but instead she is resentful to the fact that magic exists because magic exists, her father had to die. So essentially she's like, well, people who I love had to die for this. And then we find out, which pisses me off. It actually really does piss me off. We found out that not only does the Maji people have magic, but essentially everyone has magic. And not everyone, but almost essentially everyone has magic. And there's no backstory to that. Like, how in the hell is that? Like, what? Like, first off, how and why? And why does everybody, like, how? I don't understand. I still don't understand. That kind of pissed me off. When I found out that everybody had magic, I'm like, how does this... It pisses me off because you wanted, like, the story. It's a story. Like, it's a story, a magical story, and you want it to be so that the playing fields are sort of, like, level or even, because they do have the kingdom. Because somebody was at my door. But anyway, like, it's like the kingdom, the people in the kingdom, if we can call them anything, we'll call them the 1%. The wealthy 1% has everything, right? They have everything. They have wealth. They have accessibility. They have opportunity. They have everything in the kingdom at their disposal, right? So then they also have magic. Why? Like, I took it personally. Like, why couldn't it just be, you have to take everything we get? You know what I'm saying? So it just left me feeling a little ticked off. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little ticked off, a little PO'd or whatever at that fact. So so that is something that we find out in this book. Also, there are special kinds of levels to the magic that people has. And a lot of these people who are from the kingdom also have basically like superpowers. Not only do they have magic, not only are they wealthy and rich and they have magic as well, they have super magic, right? They have super magic. They are titans. They are called titans because they possess magic, but it's like super magic. Really, like, what the? Now they have super magic? Like, now not only do they have the magic, but their magic is more powerful than the regular magic. Like, what is happening in these streets? So yeah, all of that happens. And meanwhile, Zelie is so depressing. Like, she is so depressing in the beginning and almost all the way to the end. She's so depressing and maddening and upsetting. She's pissing me off. She's pissed me off because she's so resentful to magic and the fact that magic exists. Meanwhile, the whole first book, all she wanted was magic to exist. And then when it started to exist, she's like, oh, I hate magic. I'm not going to use my magic. So she's not using her magic. She is a, what is Zelie or Zelie? She's a reaper, right? And we find out that Amari is a connector. And not only is she a connector, she's a Titan. And then this whole entire time, the brother, who is around in the first book and around in the second book, has no powers at all. And we don't really understand why he doesn't have powers or how, like, why? Is he, like, one of the only ones that don't have powers? Like, he doesn't have powers. The mercenaries doesn't have powers. But why? Why? Who? How did we decide who gets power and who doesn't get power? Is it ancestry? Is it like, what is the precursor to power? Like, how do you get to have magic? Like, how? What? I still don't quite understand how. But anyway, there's a lot that goes on in the story. There's a lot to say. There's a lot that goes on. But we get to, let's go like more towards the end. In the story, Enon shows up as alive, right? Because at the end of Children of Blood and Bone, we think that Enon is dead. Of course, we know that Enon is not dead. But he shows up, he's alive, and he and Zelie have this estranged, difficult, complicated, complex relationship where they still very much love each other, but they hate each other for because they're different and they cannot be together because of their differences, and because Enon is a fool and Enon always does stupid stuff and he never really makes the right decision. He always makes the dumbest decisions in the world and has no real understanding of learning lessons, right? He doesn't learn lessons. He's kind of stupid in that sense. So yeah, they have this like strained relationship where Enon goes to his mother and he takes his rightful place in the kingdom as king because the father's dead now. And Amari and her mother, Amari initially didn't really want to be queen, but then she wanted to be queen. It's another whole thing that we don't understand. But anyway, so Amari is thinking that when she goes to, this is before we find out that Enon is alive. I'm kind of like all over the place, y'all. So before we find out that Enon is alive, Amari goes, to the kingdom because she feels like if she can get the crown, right? She can get the crown. She can restore peace between the Magi and the people of the Orisha, the regular people, whatever, the kingdom. So she goes and she's giving this powerful speech, and the people are accepting her, and they're like, yeah. Oh, hell, Queen Amari. And then all of a sudden, Amari's mom shows up. And she didn't just show up, okay? She showed up and she showed out, and it turns out that she's a Titan. She has all this power, and she shut the shit down, okay? She shut everything down. She's like, nope, hell no, you ain't taking this kingdom. It's not how it's gonna happen. You're a traitor. You this, you that. Don't listen to her. She's a traitor. La la la. She shut it down. Everybody goes running. Amari doesn't get the crown. So then we find out that Enon is alive. Then Enon gets the crown, and the whole time, Enon and his mother are kind of like, Enon still loves his sister, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna I can't really turn my back on my sister. I can't turn my back on Zelie, but there's this resistance that's brewing, and the resistance is being led by the Ainka people, and the Ainka is basically, they the revolutionaries. They out here in these streets trying to get some shit started so they can get it done. The revolution will not be televised. That's those people right there. That's the Black Panthers up in the streets. The Ainka out here, shooting shit up. Okay, so the resistance has started, but Enon still doesn't want to turn his and he finds out that Zile and Amari are part of the resistance, but he still doesn't want to turn his back on his sister and Zile because he loves them, yada yada yada. But he still makes stupid decisions along the way, and the whole time his mother is backing him, and the kingdom is backing him, yada yada yada. Then we there's another character that was introduced who is Enon's like cousin. I think it's his cousin and his second hand, and I cannot remember what his name is to save my life. Sure. That's Enon's cousin and his second hand. He's introduced to the story, and he hates the Magi just like everybody else hates the Magi. Everybody in the kingdom hates the Magi. Why? Because we don't know. They just hate the Magi. They're racist, I guess. They just racist against the Magi. And he also hates the Magi, but he has a story for why he hates the Magi. Because his parents were burnt alive by the Magi, or during the raid, or something happened where his parents were burnt alive, and he thought it was the fault of the Magi why his parents got murdered or killed. Turns out, however, that none of that was true, and he finds out Ojuri, whatever his name is, we're gonna call him O. O finds out that in fact that's not true, and in fact Enon's mom is to blame for all of it. She is the reason why his parents are dead. She is the reason why I just took out all my twists, and I need to figure out how I'm gonna wear my hair. But she's the reason why they had a peace treaty like that was happening between the Magi and the kingdom a long time ago, and she is the reason why that peace treaty stopped, and she's the reason for all of the problems. Okay, she's psycho. She is a sociopath. She's crazy as hell. She is off her rockers, and she's the reason why all of this stuff went down. So he finds out, and he also thinks that Enon kind of knows this, so he gets mad at Enon, and he tries to kill Enon, and the mother catches him trying to kill Enon, and she kills O, and I'm like, why you killing O? Because O ain't really had nothing to do with it. He was down for y'all, he was rocking for y'all, he was fighting for y'all, he was giving y'all his heart, his blood, his soul, because he thought that y'all was, doing the right thing. But then you just gonna take his life just like that, like it wasn't nothing, and your son ain't shit, and all of this. Girl, I was in the store, I was I was mad reading this story. So it's a whole lot of stuff that happened. I'm not talking about all the stuff that happened because the book is like 400 pages, sis, so we ain't gonna talk about all the stuff that happened. You gotta read it yourself. But bada boom, bing bing boom. Zelie also falls in love with Rowan in this story, and Rowan is the mercenary from the first story, which he goes around, he's like the hitman, you know what I'm saying? He goes around getting jobs from people to do this, to do that, you know what I'm saying? He kind of like does whatever he needs to do, move however he needs to move, get what he needs to get done, or you need something done, you need somebody handled, need something dealt with, you call Rowan. So he's that guy, right? So she falls in love with this guy, I don't know, whatever. But she also has love for Enon in her heart, and she and Amari are going back and forth. They're fighting like cats and dogs in this video, I say in this video, in this movie, it's not a movie. In this story, they're fighting like cats and dogs, but they still have that underlying love and affection for each other the whole entire time. But they still going at it. They butting heads. So, but it would be easier for them to just kind of like reconcile and work together, but instead they just make it difficult on each other, and they just keep butting heads. So all of this happens, and we see in this story also like Wakanda, right? It's something so beautiful about the place where they go to where the Magi is up there like training, the Inca, they're up there training for the revolution, and they have all of the temples up there, and the people are just kind of living and having fun and training and living, but they're also getting ready to fight. But it's something so beautiful about the place that exists. It's kind of like Wakanda. In my head, it's like Wakanda, but it's their place, it's the Magi place, you know what I'm saying? So they up there, they training, and they doing all of this and that, and Zeely is heading her Reaper clan, and Amari is heading the Connector clan, and we got a whole other story how she started heading the Connector clan, girl. And then we have all the Burners and all the other people, you know, heading their clan. The story, Enon of course turns his back again, and everybody's like, oh, everybody's pissed off at Enon because Enon did the wrong thing, like he always does, and they get into this battle, and everybody thinks that the story is over because the kingdom basically won, but however, they still got one more fight in them, so the Ainka go back for the final hoorah, and something happens, and this happens, whatever, and there's no ending. There's no ending. Nobody wins. Nobody, you know what I'm saying? We don't see which side wins in this story. We don't know who in the hell won the battle, okay? Who won the battle? Tommy, Ade, and me. Who won? Who won? Who? You're not gonna tell me? So we don't know who won the battle. We were just like, what? Because then all of a sudden, this gas goes off. So Rohan had put something in motion. I don't even know what he put in motion. We don't know. I guess it's this thing that happened because all of a sudden this gas just like comes out of nowhere, and it just takes everybody out, right? Everybody's passed out. This gas comes and takes everybody out, and then they wake up in chains on a boat, and I'm like, slavery? America, and this shit is just over? Like, are they going to America to be slaves and there ain't no more Orisha? Like, what is happening? I was just like, the story took me on a roller coaster of emotions. I had so many questions that was unanswered. I had so many bridges that I couldn't really connect. And at the end, nobody won. And at the end, they were slaves, but we don't know if they slaves in you know, in their land, or if they gonna be slaves over in America. I don't even know. Honestly, that was a good read. It was a good read because I continued to read the book. I was intrigued by it. It was captivating. I read the book all the way through, even though there were holes in the story and there were questions that need to be answered. There were so many things that I was just like, what? Explain yourself. Tell me again what happened. It was so many of those moments in the story, but I still think that it was a wonderful story, and it was great, and it was awesome to read and support Black authors out here in these streets. So Tommy, Adi, and me, yes, go ahead and buy it. If you haven't bought it already, go ahead and do it. Let me get my hair right first before I tell you what I'm gonna do for you. Hold on. Fix my hair, then I'm gonna come back and end off this video because your girl gotta go and fluff this out in the mirror, and then I'm gonna come back and finish this video. Hold on. Cute. I'm looking cute. I'm looking really cute, actually. I love it. But anyway, if you have not given this a chance yet, I definitely do recommend that you give it a go. Go ahead and read it. Give it a try. But if you haven't purchased it yet, girl, I got something for you. From me to you. I actually have... I have 2 copies of this book. So I'm going to keep one for myself because, no, you can have both of them. But I definitely am going to go ahead and give you a copy of this book. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway. So for this giveaway, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram at The Color Code. Make sure you leave a comment underneath this video letting me know what book you would like for me to review next, or what video you would like to see from me next. And I will be entering you in this giveaway. That's all you got to do to win, girl. And I'll be entering you in this in this giveaway to win this book. So sis, if you want this book, you haven't purchased it yet, you want to get it for free, go ahead and enter the giveaway. I'm excited to do it because I really love reading. I have these books coming up next in my repertoire, so if you want to hear some reviews on this, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned for that. I also have other content coming up about my hair. I have some protective styles coming up. Subscribe, girl. I got things coming, okay? So do all of that good stuff. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you're following. Make sure you hit the bell for notifications and all that good stuff. If you like this video, Give me a thumbs up. Also, let's chat in the comment section. Let me know how you felt about this book. If you also read this book, how did you feel about the first one? What do you think the trilogy about the third book that's coming out? Girl, we're gonna have to wait a whole nother 2 years to get it. Watch. Whoo! Wait. But anyway, I'm gonna get up off this camera. I got to go. Stay beautiful, stay positive, and stay blessed. Peace.